So, before I took my nap, the words that were coming to me were, enough is enough. So that's what this live is going to be about. And just honing in on your mental health, ensuring that you're no longer giving your power away to any person, place, or thing voluntarily, willingly. Focus your energy on yourself. Put your attention back on yourself. Stop making people, places, and things that are not important. Get into that attitude of, who cares? Who the F cares? And who the F gives a F? Just pour into self. That is your greatest power. There is no force on this earth like the focused drive. So start tuning into yourself. Who cares about other people? Who cares about other things? Who cares about other places? If it doesn't serve your highest possible good, who cares? That's the attitude that you need to start having moving forward, to protect yourself, to enrich your life, to better yourself, to pour into yourself day in, day out on the daily. I have been feeling very weird since last month, and I'm starting to settle. I'm starting to calm down because I realized I was voluntarily and willingly giving my attention, my focus to things that don't mean me well. You know what I mean? So to hone in on my energy, to draw back my energy, to refocus myself on myself, right? My self-awareness, my conscious health, my mental health, my emotional health, my physical health, my spiritual health, energetically wise. I'm calling my energy back to me. I am focusing my energy back where it needs to be, which is on my vessel that I've been blessed with, not anybody else. And honestly, I'm working on not caring the way I used to, because sometimes caring too much, it can get you in trouble. You can find yourself in situations with people, in places, involved in things that mean well, that are of no substance. It's just to basically steal from your peace, steal from your joy, involve you in some BS that has nothing to do with you, but because you decided to willingly participate or go there or entertain it, you're welcoming it into your life. Oh no. And I'm so sorry to hear that, Mr. Collins. I'm sending you love, light, healing vibrations. I pray that whatever is going on, it be worked out in your favor. Some people are bitter, some people are jealous, and some people carry that for years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, sometimes till they die. So just make sure you're always striving to not be in that energy. If somebody wants to create that reality for themselves, you stay away from them. And I know because you have a kid, it makes it a little tricky. So yeah, it sounds like something is going on there. Maybe she has some kind of traumatic, unresolved childhood wounds or issues that she needs to heal. And if we don't heal them, they get passed on. So hopefully your daughter is protected throughout it all, and she doesn't repeat the cycles and patterns that the mother is displaying. Because just because how my mom acted when I was a kid, how she treated people, not to say she was a bad person, but sometimes as women we don't always act in our logical minds. Sometimes we go based off of emotions, and when we should be using logic, or we should be using both. We should be using all four: logic, emotion, physical intelligence, spiritual intelligence. Some people actually lack these things, but nonetheless, just because my mom displayed these things, I eventually had to work through them. Of course, naturally, I was transferred these behavior patterns, and I had to go through the cycles of, okay, I don't want to be an argumentative person. I don't want to argue my entire life. I don't want to be combative my entire life. I don't want to be like that. So I had to address those issues, and I had to release them. And it took a little bit of time, but everybody has a free will to show up how they choose in life. So I'm praying for your daughter's protection. I'm praying for your protection, and I'm praying that things be worked out in your favor. But yeah, don't allow other people's realities to draw you in. If that is not a way of life that you want to partake in, you want to participate in, you want to promote, you want to, live like, you have every right to wash your hands of any person, place, or thing. It doesn't matter who they are. They could be your mother, they could be your father, they could be your brother, your sister, whoever. Just because it's family, it doesn't mean that they're going to treat you well. Like, we're all working through issues. We're all at different points in our journeys. Protect yourself to the best of your ability. Again, I know when you have a kid involved, it's a different story. And even I've heard recent stories about people, they almost had a kid, they wish they would have had the kid, but they didn't, so now there's no kind of connection with this person. And like, the reality of it is, it's better to not have a kid than have a kid with somebody that you can't get on solid grounds with, that you can't come to common terms with, because some people will be unreasonable. Some people will not be mentally well. There are a lot of people walking around with mental health illnesses, mental health issues. Some know, some are oblivious, and some are a work in progress. But it doesn't excuse anybody's behavior. If you can tell that somebody's behavior towards you, somebody's actions towards you, somebody's energy towards you is not serving your highest possible good, distance yourself to the best of your ability. Or if you do have to deal with them, make sure you're dealing with them in a manner to where you're protecting yourself to the best of your ability, and you're not opening yourself up to receive any demons or traumas or cycles that they're allowing themselves to be dragged in. Mental health is very, very important, because if it was to ever leave, man, there's no saying if you be able to get it back. God restores, but don't willingly and purposely and intentionally put yourself in harm's way, because toxicity, there's a lot of that out there. There's a lot of hurt people out there. There's a lot of trauma out there. There's a lot of pain out there. There's a lot of things. If the mind gets exposed to too much too soon, there's no saying if you will be able to come back. Yeah. And the fact that you are able to understand what's going on, you're in your right mind, so you just have to deal with things to the best of your ability. Yeah, some people will be in denial too. Some people refuse to be in touch with reality. There's a lot of, I've come across psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, karmic people, and karmic energies and karmic cycles pushing on, karmic behavior patterns. I'm trying to think of what else. Bipolar people, schizophrenic people. Good evening, Joe. You guys be nice in the chat. Yeah, just send love, light, healing vibrations, and continue to deal with things to the best of your ability. All right, so I am going to, I have a candle lit because it calms me down, but I'm gonna cleanse this space really quick because I'm going to pull a couple of cards. I'm gonna be pulling from my Animal Tarot. It's the only tarot I have. I'm going to pull from my Fairy Oracle, and I'm going to pull from my Angelarium what to look out for, what you need to be attentive to or pay attention to. That way you don't fall in those traps, patterns, cycles, behavior issues. And I'm also going to close it out with this reading out with my Moonology card. So let's get started. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's room temperature. Cold water is cool, but it's not really a big deal. If it's like really, really hot outside, that's one thing. But Most High, I welcome you. Any door that is not of you, I ask that you close, shut, and close. Any black magic, hexes, curses, evil eye, return back to sender. I welcome only love and gratitude. Angels, ancestors, I welcome you. I request your assistance, your aid with helping me channel these messages to the best of my ability. Whatever you would like for the collective to know in regards to enough being enough and focusing on their mental health, their mental well-being, their mental prosperity. I will take 3 cards. Black magic, hexes, curses, evil eye. I return back to sender times 3. I welcome only love and gratitude. And I release that back out into the universe times 10. Times 10. Three cards, please. What does the collective need to know in regards to enough being enough and focusing on their mental health, mental wealth, and mental prosperity? 3 cards, please. Allow me to channel these messages to the best of my ability. Allow these messages to be clear and concise. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. 4 in the chat. Give me 2 more cards for the collective. Allow me to read for the energy of the collective. Allow me to channel for the energy of the collective and not myself. Allow me to only pick up on the energy of the collective, please. Yeah, I was feeling weird lately, and I'm just starting to settle into my peace because I accepted I was allowing my energy to go in places it did not need to go in, or focus on people that were not important or not nearly as important as I am, because I'm the most important person in my life. So sometimes people will pull on you, your energy, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, as well as physically, because it's an energetic thing, especially if you're a healer. If you have a healing light, a healing aura to yourself, you know, you'll be tugged in many different directions, but always reclaim your power and refocus your energy back on the rightful place, the rightful owner, which is you. Sage is not really my thing. I got introduced to it a couple years ago, and then I let go of it because that's not, I don't like it. I feel like it's very hyped up. To each its own. I didn't feel like it was doing whatever it was supposed to do. I actually got annoyed with it. I like Palo Santos. Rich Rising. Hola, hola. Okay, so those are the 3 cards for the tarot. Polos actually helps me with my anxiety. I use it for cleansing spaces. I use it for cleaning out energies. I use it for restoring myself back to... That card came out quick. Maybe I'll take... Do I have enough battery life? Let me see. Yeah, I should be able to. I'll take maybe 3 from each deck. Please give me 2 more cards for the energy of the collective. It's something about Palo Santos that has a California. It's something about Palo Santos that has a calming aroma for me. And I'm guessing because it's wood. Okay, those came out, so we'll take those two. Thank you. These came out quick. This one popped out and this one popped out. So let's get one more. So somebody's struggling with pride. Accept it, own it, be at peace with it, love it, learn from it, then let it go, because don't let pride hold you back. Don't let pride stop you from embracing your new beginnings. Don't let pride keep you from moving forward. You need something, speak up. Okay, 2 more cards came out. I guess I'll take those. It was just supposed to be 3, but you got 4 for the Angelarium, so maybe they want to speak to you guys. When I first got those cards, man, when I first seen those cards, I could already pick up the energy before I even had them. When I was looking at them online, they're so powerful. It's basically it's an oracle of the fallen angels. What to look out for, what to pay attention to, you know, not to follow in their footsteps because, you know, it ultimately led them to their demise. So it's an insight of what happened and what may have went wrong and what they may have been battling with and struggling with. 2 more cards, please. See you later. I will pick up on whatever energy comes out. That's way too many cards. Please just give me 2 more cards so I can close out the reading. These, numerology. 2 more cards of whatever you'd like the collective to know. Thank you. Okay, so to get started, let's see what the first card is for the tarot. Ace of Cups. So you guys are in beautiful energy. That's the first card. So let's see. See what's going on. Because I know that's a good card. Where's it at, though? Beginning, socializing, celebrations. So, an otter floats on its back, clutching a cup to its chest as it drifts peacefully along. Water lilies, symbols of enlightenment, rise from the mud beneath to bloom brightly and are surrounded by rich green lily pads. The otter is content where it is and in no hurry to reach its destination. The Ace of Cups reminds us to find such happiness within ourselves. Like a peacefully flowing river, there is an abundance of goodness and new possibilities that fill us with the potential that courses through us all. When upright, the Ace of Cups suggests that you're ready to open up and embark on a new journey, be it creative, work-oriented, or within new relationships. It's time to create new connections with those we love or those we wish to know better. Creative endeavors will progress smoothly right now, and taking the first step to pursue them will bring you closer to your end goal. You are experiencing a period where you're ready to let go of any emotional baggage that may be weighing you down. You're ready to see life with a new perspective, take advantage of the social spirit, and let your emotions guide you in a new direction. So great card, great first card. Celebrations, beginning, socializing. So you're at a new point, a new chapter in your life. Make sure you are letting go of any emotional baggage, because emotional health ties directly into your mental health. And that's why this video is titled Enough is Enough. Focus on your mental health. In order for you to have a good balance with your emotional wealth, your emotional health, your emotional prosperity, you have to make sure you're taking care of yourself mentally, right? Mentally, If you are not okay, anything you touch is not going to be okay. Doesn't matter if you think you're okay. You have to make sure you're checking in on yourself. You have to make sure you're cleansing. You have to make sure you're releasing. You have to make sure you are pouring into yourself on a daily what you need, how you need it, and when you need to do it. Go out, get some sun, drink water, get a breath of fresh air. If you feel overwhelmed, hug a tree, sit still, pray, meditate, be patient. The answers that you're seeking, they will come to you, and they come from within. So make sure you're looking at life with a new set of lenses, because now that you understand where you may have been willingly allowing your energy to flow, you have been attracting more of that into your life. And if it was not of your highest possible good, serving your highest possible good, you gotta switch things around. People are not as important as we try to make them out to be. People are not as valuable as we try to make them out to be. People sometimes don't serve anything other than lessons. You're the most important person in your life. You are the most valuable person in your life. So make sure you are treating yourself accordingly, because it starts with you. You know, other people can only treat you how you treat yourself. And if you are setting the tone, you are encouraging a standard. You only want the best. You only want healthy. You only want prosperity. You only want peace. You only want, simplicity. They either will have to meet you where you are, or they'll have to leave you alone. Because something has to give, right? And don't you lower your standards trying to accommodate anybody. Don't, you have to get tired of your old ways of living to embrace new chapters and new beginnings. And it took a while for me, but I got so fed up, and I got so disgusted, and I got so tired of what I was allowing, what I was doing, and how I was going about things, to where I had no choice other than to move, because that's what I was told to do. God told me, okay, if you're serious and you want to switch it up, and you want to do things differently, and you want to breathe a little better, and you want to see a little better, and you want to hear a little better, you want to be able to laugh more often, you want to smile more often, you want to let go of crying, you want to let go of guilt and shame, because other people sometimes, they'll treat you wrong and then make you feel bad. And why should you feel bad if you didn't do anything? Allow them to take on their own karma. Allow them to, deal with their own energy. That's not yours. If they didn't treat you right, guess what? You have two options. Either one, continue to put up with it, or move on. And there's power in moving on. There's power in actually being alone. Sometimes these people, places, and things will hold you up energetically, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. But you can call your power back to yourself. You can direct your energy back on yourself. You can refocus back on yourself and make sure you are nurturing yourself. Thank you. All right. So take advantage of this new opportunity that you've been given, and make sure you are honing in, pouring in, and loving yourself to the best of your ability, because it starts with you. Once you set that tone, anything that comes moving forward, it has to be on the same vibration, the same frequency, the same wavelength. And if it is not, bye. You'll be okay regardless if it comes, regardless if it goes, regardless if it stays. It can only add to your emotional stability. It can only add to your emotional independence. It can only add to what you're already doing for yourself. And if it can't add to it, don't allow it to take from it. You've put in a lot of hard work to get to this point. All right, so the second card, the Hierophant. This is a good card too. So, the Hierophant. Let me go to that really quick. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? All right, tradition, conformity, institutionalism. A ram stands poised between two pillars, yoked in a triangle. Though rams are aggressive creatures, they symbolize stability. We just touched on that. Structure and eternity. The Scottish black-faced ram is heartily bred that can survive and even thrive in harsh conditions by understanding their dominion well. The Hierophant can likewise find stability in his dominion over the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Though seen as a beacon of tradition, the Hierophant is knowledgeable and can flow with change. We are reminded to find knowledge in all places, uphold our values, follow our morals, but remember that change is inevitable. When upright, the Hierophant tells you that your current place in life is or should be steeped in tradition. There is stability in the tried and true, and if you're about to start a new phase in your life, keeping to established rules and methods will yield success. Now is not the time to try something different. If you feel you're needlessly retracing your steps, try to seek new understanding based on the structures that are already in place. You could glean new information from a seemingly familiar perspective, even if you feel restless. Know that fitting the mold will provide answers that you may or may not be actively seeking. Be passive but perceptive. There are guiding forces working in your favor. So everything works out for your highest possible good. 6 in the chat. I don't know if I said 5 was in the chat earlier, but you might want to look up those angel numbers and see what it means to you. Use your discernment. I know it said to stick to the tried and true and not to have new approaches, but make sure you're listening to your gut. Make sure you're listening to the energy. Make sure you're listening to your intuition, because they are your inner compasses. And sometimes the tried and true, yeah, that's a cool way to do things, but you have to find your way of doing things. And there's nothing wrong with finding your own way. There's nothing wrong with, figuring things out for yourself, because what may work for the next person, or what did work for the next person, may not work for you. You're here to live a life that is true to your soul. You're here to be and reveal your natural, true, authentic self. So, change is inevitable regardless. You can't run from it, can't hide from it, can't slow it down. It's gonna happen. And everything works out for your highest possible good. So your last card of the tarot is the 6 of Wands. Victory, self-confidence, progress. Oh, you guys got some really good cards. The collective got some really good cards. So it means you're doing what you need to be doing. You just got to keep up the great work. Continue to protect yourself to the best of your ability, and don't allow anyone to interfere or come in between what it is you're trying to do, what you're trying to build, and the life that you're trying to live for yourself. So, victory, self-confidence, progress. A peacock sits front and center, its beautiful feathers on display for all to see. Peacocks are known for their presentation and ostentatious appearance. They advertise their feathers, staring back at the world with eye-patterned spots that meet the gazes inexorably drawn towards them. The 6 of Wands is a card built on spectacle, taking center stage. Whether we receive a standing ovation or fall from grace depends solely on our ability to keep pride in moderation. So I believe I touched on pride. It's cool that everything's connected because it's synchronization. I touched on pride earlier because one of the cards that came out from the Angelarium is the Angel of Pride. If you guys can see it, Angel of Pride. Don't allow pride to hold you back. So be mindful. Don't allow ego to make you self-sabotage either, because ego is instant gratification. It's not long-lasting. It's not longevity. It's mere in the moment. You want to have a balance, Sometimes ego serves a purpose. Granted, there's lessons in everything. Make sure you are finding the information within everything around you, because it will be given to you. It's a matter of you opening yourself up to receive it properly to the best of your ability. So when upright, the 6 of Wands signifies a celebration of everything you've done and accomplished. And that takes us back to the very first card, the Ace of Cups. It's celebration. So make sure you are giving yourself credit for the hard work you've been putting in. Make sure you are acknowledging the small steps that you were taking, that you've taken to bring yourself to, now bigger, enormous, gigantic steps. Like the fact that you took enough nerve, or you had enough nerve to be a risk taker, to be brave, to try to do something different. Your confidence is brimming. You are self-assured, and it may even suggest that you have received or will receive public recognition for your accomplishments. There were hardships along the way, but you can take pride in the fact that you weathered them with grace. Allow yourself to enjoy the confidence that accolades bring you. You've earned it. You're advised to be aware that while you've come far and braved the storm admirably, there is still a chance of future challenges arising to trip you up. Savor the victory this moment has brought you, but be ready for what lies ahead. So don't forget to bask in the now, bask in the present, and moving forward, be aware, be conscious, right? That things will come to serve your highest possible good, and things will come to also try to pull you back down to the level you were at. New levels, new devils. It never changes. The more information you acquire, the higher you ascend, the higher you transcend, the more things are going to come your way trying to keep you where you are or make you go back to where you used to be. But you have free will to choose how you're going to show up in life, how you're going to move, how you're going to treat people, how you're going to handle things, and how you're going to view them ultimately. Are you talking about the chips? All right, so that was it for the tarot. So next, moving forward, is the fairy oracles. So first card is 30. Let's see what that means. I've pulled this card before, but I don't remember the meaning. Distraction. Don't allow distractions in. Tune out the noise, you guys. While the small fairy turned his back on the baby, a group of pixies have lifted the child up and away out of harm's reach. What caught the fairy's attention, and will he be able to capture the baby again and bring them back with him? Meaning, distractions are a part of life. They remind us to be mindful of our actions and what we are doing. Follow your true path or you'll be carried away. Make sure you limit the interruptions going on around you. Find your focus to achieve your goals. So don't allow distractions to pull you out of alignment, because distractions are everywhere all the time. They come in different forms. They come in different people, shapes, sizes. They come in different places and things. Vices can do you in the truest sense if you allow it to. All right, so the next card is 27. Supported. And I like that because it goes together. Because even though that last card, the fairy got distracted, pixies came to pick the child up and carry it away from harm's reach, meaning something was getting ready or probably already happening. And, you have support in a variety of ways, right? It doesn't just come in one shape, size, or person, place, or thing. It's endless. It's limitless. It's helpful, right? So a small pack of fairies holding lanterns on sticks carefully cross the ground between two trees. Dark and menacing faces peer out from the trees, eyes watching them as they pass. A single owl perches on a branch high above, watching them, protecting them as they make their way through the land. Meaning, being supported by those you care about is a great feeling. Follow your true light, that inner voice calling out to you, which asks you to stay on your path. Keep to your heart's path, and your support team will follow you. And I really like the fact that these cards are flowing together, because as long as you are following your true path, you will receive the protection, limitless protection, unconditional protection. 7-7 in the chat. This owl is a protector. If you can see it right here. This owl is a guider. This owl is being used by not just God, Spirit, the universe as well, because everything is interconnected and everything serves a purpose. So as long as you are being your natural, true, born, authentic self, and you are living a life that's true to yourself, to your soul. You're not trying to follow the crowd. You're not trying to do what you've been told. You're not trying to do anything that the next person is doing or anything that worked out for somebody before you, whether it was generations before you, your grandpa, your mom, your dad. Make sure you are living for yourself. You cannot please anybody. You can only please yourself. Live a life that you feel is true to you, one that is healthy for you, one that you are content with, one that you find joy in, and one that you are soul fed. All right, so last card for the Fairy Oracle. I don't think I've ever pulled this card before. This is 4. Thank you. All right, offerings. So it's distractions, it was supported, and now it's offerings. I'm on live right now.
Okay, don't talk to me like that.
1 second, you guys, I'll be right back. I'm back. Excuse the sound. I'll wait. I'm really hoping I don't have to end this live. Most High, please continue to use me however you see fit. Any energies that are trying to penetrate my being, trying to pull me out of alignment to deliver this message, I pray that it is removed and you continue to give me the peace, the wisdom, serenity, and courage that I need to channel these messages to the best of my ability. All right. Please don't allow me to get annoyed. All right. So the card was 4. And I'm gonna wrap up this message. We're almost done though. The card was 4. The good folk rise up from the waters to offer the girl a boon. Their long, spiny fingers push the object high into the air. She hovers at the edge of a cliff, watching with rapt curiosity. She wears I think it's kerchief around her head, giving the illusion she is in touch with her inner knowings. Meaning, now is the time to take a hold of the unexpected offering that is coming your way. The world is giving you exactly what you need right now. Push aside all doubt and reach out for what is yours. It is exactly what you need right now. I'm gonna read this card one more time. Oh, are you talking about my waist beads? It's not a black rope, it's a waist bead. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So offerings, again. Number 4, the good folk rise up from the waters to offer the girl a boon. Their long, spiny fingers push the object high into the air. She hovers at the edge of a cliff, watching with rapt curiosity. She wears a kerchief around her head, giving the illusion she is in touch with her inner knowings. I'm wondering, why is it giving an illusion? Is she in touch, or is she not in touch? Inner knowings is intuition. Now is the time to take a hold of the unexpected offering that is coming your way. The world is giving you exactly what you need right now. Push aside all doubt and reach out for what is yours. It is exactly what you need right now. So don't second guess yourself. I guess that's why it took me a second. I had to refocus my energy because it's being pulled on right now. I'm always the problem solver. I'm always the one who has to figure things out sometimes in my family, and I need my energy and my attention on myself right now. So I'm fighting through distractions. I'm fighting through noise. I'm fighting through, you guys could hear the car right now that was being revved up. Make sure you are taking what's rightfully yours, because it will be offered to you. If it isn't already here, it's coming in due time. Do not allow distractions. Do not allow noise. Do not allow other people to trick you out of your divinity, out of your essence, out of your rightful way of living, out of what is rightfully yours, whether it is abundance, blessings, because they come in many different shapes, sizes. And don't be afraid to use your intuition. Don't be afraid to tap into clairvoyance. Don't be afraid to use your gifts to aid you along the way, because offerings are merely our birthrights. You know, if it gets offered to us, more than likely it is for us, but you do have to use your discernment, because everything that gets offered will not serve your highest possible good. It'll be a lesson, you know what I mean? But make sure you are refocusing your energy on yourself, calling your energy back to yourself, and using your energy to give yourself momentum to move forward and push through. All right. I'm going to see 4 cards came out for the Angelarium. My brother is frustrated because he's being put in a position where he doesn't want to have to figure out things, so he wants me to do it. I wasn't even involved in anything, but I'm going to do my best after I'm done to help out in whatever way I can, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm not about to be stressed out the way I used to be. Like, I don't know. Don't know. All right, this is the card. Thank you. This is the card, the first card that came out, the Exile. Aziel. I hope I'm saying his name right. So, what you need to pay attention to, be aware of, what you need to keep in mind. Exile. And I feel like with exile, it's a form of distance. I think it's a disgrace to an extent, but sometimes you do have to distance yourself. You do have to remove yourself. You have to allow certain people, places, and things to be removed as well, because it's for your highest good. It's to protect your mental health, to increase your mental prosperity, and to make you stronger than you've ever been before. Sometimes you do have to spend time in solitude. 10:10 on the clock, so old cycles have ended. Sorry, 10:10 in the chat. Old cycles have ended. Old cycles are ending. Karmic patterns, karmic cycles, let it be, let it go. You don't have to live that way anymore. You know, you have to allow things to work themselves out. Sometimes a little bit of your help will be needed. A little bit of your help will need to be offered. Do what you can, but protect yourself to the best of your ability, because you're not here to figure out everything for everybody else. You're here to figure out your way of life for yourself. Yeah, a stepping stone for sure. So, Aziel, I hope I'm saying this angel's name right. Aziel hoped that his self-imposed exile would ease the tensions between the Watchers and humanity. Seeing hatred in the eyes of those who had once loved him was more than he needed to justify departing the company of his brethren. Although the world around him was peaceful, Aziel could not release his mind's grasp on the suffering he had witnessed. Wandering to desolate expanse beyond the farthest pastures, no amount of solitude brought him peace. He was a servant with no master. So, whatever you do, make sure you are trying to please no one other than yourself. Whatever decisions you make, whatever choices you make, everybody has free will. Make sure you are taking care of yourself to the best of your ability, because our decisions, our choices are all going to be held up in some way, shape, form, fashion, or another, and we will be held accountable for what we choose to do. Card meaning. Regardless of the cost, you may need to commit yourself to the goals that are laid in front of you. Your actions may not be without controversy, but that is a sign that what you are doing is laden with importance. You may suffer loss and heartache, but the path is clear. So sometimes you do have to go through shortcomings, misfortunes. Sometimes you do have to be put in uncomfortable situations and hard situations to find your way out of it, to find your way back to solid ground, to make sure you are constantly building a solid foundation that will carry you through the storm. Because if it's weak, it's gonna fall. If it's not strong enough, it won't be able to support you in the way that you need. So sometimes you have to start over. Sometimes you have to lose in order to gain. Sometimes you have to not be afraid to go back to square one and start from the beginning. Go back to the drawing board. Go back to your blank canvas and start over and factor in what works, what may not work. Whatever breaks your heart will ultimately fix your vision, and vice versa. Whatever fixes your vision will ultimately break your heart. Don't be afraid, though. There's lessons throughout it all, and with pain, you will find great understanding and wisdom. All right, so the second, where are these cards out? Right here. The second card to pay attention to is the Samyaza, Angel of Pride. Pride, 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 pride. Samyaza was the first watcher to descend from the Angelarium. There is no part of this world that evades the influence of Samyaza. Even those who refuse loyalty to the self-proclaimed king must cope with the reality that they exist within his kingdom. Domain, ego, dominance, influence. Card meaning. When this card is revealed, consider the ways in which you have control over your own dominion and mastery. You have the power to give labels to the features of your life, and with that comes the power to influence those objects, places, relationships, and other aspects of your world. It may be valuable to consider whether that power is wielded responsibly or with selfish intent. So that's pretty self-explanatory. Second card, Angel of the Mountain, Toriel. The way Toriel carried his massive stature was a matter of public spectacle. His feats of strength were sometimes put to good use, but often bled into showmanship. The praise people showered him with seemed to sustain Toriel almost as much as food and water. Crowds gathered to seek the mighty Toriel's favor. They held him from afar at the common grounds and sought to catch a glimpse of him preparing his hunting party. Gifts of food and gold were brought to curry favor. Weapons and jewelry were brought in his honor whenever they could be sparred. I think spared. I don't know why I said sparred. Maybe because I feel like fighting right now. The men that truly impressed him were made a part of his story, a grand tale in which each night was a feast, each drink was a toast, and each lover a grand affair. Domain, power, greed, legends. It is easy to be numb to the influence we have over others. Power comes in many forms, and some powers arise without our knowledge. Don't be callous. Let your actions speak for themselves. Be mindful of those caught in your way. Without proper care, you may achieve your goals at the expense of the only things in life that truly matter to you. So keep mind in the picture, mindfulness. Last card, Angel of the Mist. Chakaziel. I hope I'm saying this angel's name right. Chakaziel loved his home in the sky, but reluctantly followed his brethren to earth. He loved them too much to be left behind, but he couldn't bring himself to fully commit to a corporeal body. Unwillingly to fully descend and unable to ascend, he was left to exist between worlds. He lived dissatisfied with his own existence, avoiding confrontation with the reality of what he was. So I know sometimes we want to be neutral. We don't want to pick sides, right? We want to have balance and be in the middle. That way we can kind of not have to say we claim either this or that. But the thing about it is, you do have to choose for yourself. You're either all the way for it, you're all the way against it, or you're right in between it. You cannot always stay in the middle line. You have to find something that works for you. So, domain, grief, depression, obsession. Card meaning: despair creeps up slowly and seductively. The romance of sadness brings us into its embrace and shields our eyes from the light in the world. If you are drawing this card, ask yourself if your vision has narrowed. Peer beyond the fog. Look for a glimmer in the distance rather than the shadows at your feet. No matter how tight the walls close, the larger world is always still out there. Whatever. Okay, so confirmation. Release the energy. Whatever is going on, whatever situation you find yourself involved in, know that every trial and tribulation, every obstacle, the world is much bigger than you. The world has more going on than you, and the world will go on with or without you. So you have to choose where you stand. You have to stand your ground, and you have to make sure you're being fair to yourself, right? Please yourself. Be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be transparent with yourself if you can't be that way with anybody else. You have to live a life and make decisions and choices that are for your betterment. Live a life that is true to your soul, that is true to who you are, and one that you're pleased and happy with. And then I'm just going to close this message out with, thank goodness I lit my candle. I'm going to close this message out with moon cards. Conclusions are within reach. So the answers you need are coming. That's another card, but I don't think that card came up. But that's intuitively, that's what I got. Things are working themselves out. You will be supported along the way. You will receive the support you need in the shape, fashion, form that you need it. It will come to you if you don't already have it. Don't be afraid. Be brave. Be a risk taker. Stand your ground. Put firm boundaries up and own it. You know what I mean? Regardless if you get painted out to be the bad guy, regardless if you get painted out in a light that you don't like, you don't have to explain yourself to any person, place, or thing, because God is watching. God's seen the whole story. He's seen it from the beginning to the present time. He's going to see it till the end, and he knows how things have unfolded. He knows how you've been treated. He knows, what went on that you weren't in agreements with. He knows what you liked, what you didn't like, what made you cry, what hurt your feelings, what made you sad. So just continue to choose yourself, put yourself first. Enough is enough. Now it's time to focus on you, right? Look at the bigger picture, because the world is always much bigger than you are. The world is always moving. The world is always consistent. You cannot stop the world, right? But you can stop things that you don't agree with that's happening in your life by simply removing yourself, protecting yourself, or allowing these people, places, and things to remove themselves from your life if it does not serve your highest possible good. Last card, and I'm happy we're able to end it with this. Expect a powerful change, because change is in the air. Things are shifting. God is always up to something, regardless if you believe it or not. You're being looked over, meaning things are working out in your favor. Change is all around. Change is within. You're changing. You're evolving. You're transcending. You're ascending. Own it. Accept it. Be at peace with it. You're no longer who you used to be. You're not even who you were 5 minutes ago. I'm sending you love, light, healing vibrations. And I pray that you guys were able to receive the information that you needed. I hope that it was able to help you in some way. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Namaste.